and goes to the school he's teaching at. Inside, he can see from the news that special forces killed 100 protesters in Kyiv, Ukraine's capital city. He also finds out that their president fled to Russia as Russia is on the verge of invading Ukraine. While teaching physics, Mykola does his best to share his knowledge and educate his students. One student named Ivan displays no sign of interest in learning. Instead, he keeps antagonizing the teacher every chance he gets. When the class ends, Ivan approaches the teacher and tells him to get out as he is a stranger there. On another regular bike ride to work, Mykola comes across armed men near his land. He does not think much of it and proceeds to report for work. As usual, he parks his bike and gets inside the school. He is surprised that the place is empty and he's the only teacher there. He can see from the news that chaos is taking place all over as Russian forces continue to invade the neighboring areas. He immediately grabs his bike and goes back home. His wife is alone, and the thought of the armed men he saw earlier bothers him. He is not wrong. From a distance, he can see his wife being beaten. He goes to help but ends up getting hit with the back of a gun. He begs that they don't hurt her as she's pregnant, but they refuse to listen. One Russian soldier goes inside their house and burns it. When the two Russians are about to leave, Nastia grabs a stone to retaliate. She is then gunned down and dies in front of Mykola. Moments later, two Ukrainians, members of the Ukrainian militia, help Mykola dig a grave for his wife while he returns to their burnt house. He can retrieve the wooden crucifix his wife made for him. Mykola buries his wife with a broken heart and then decides to go with the Ukrainians, uncertain what he'll do next. He joins the Ukrainian militia on their way to their camp. The leader does not trust him, thinking that he can be a spy. He expresses his intention to join them and drive the Russians out of their country. He is then given a chance to train with them, but being a pacifist, he has little knowledge about guns and is having a hard time with the training. A woman shows him how to disassemble and assemble a gun. He is determined to learn. One night while doing some physical conditioning, Mykola assures his officer that he is no longer a pacifist. He also prefers the codename the Raven. He is reminded that codenames are earned. The training is new and challenging for him, but he is committed to equipping himself with all the knowledge and skills in order to take revenge. The trainees are told that there are not enough snipers at the front. When asked who wants to volunteer to be trained, only very few show interest. Mykola stands up and expresses his desire to step up to the challenge. The officer asks him to sit down as he can't even disassemble and assemble a gun in time. Mykola asks that he is given a chance to prove that he can. He assures the officer that he can finish it in 20 seconds. An AK-47 is laid on the table by the officer. To the surprise of everyone, Mykola blindfolds himself and starts to disassemble the gun. He then assembles the parts back smoothly. The time is just 18 seconds. Instead of laughter, he gains applause this time. Mykola is now admitted to being trained as a sniper. During training, Mykola is surprised to receive a different gun from the rest of the trainees. He refuses to leave as he finds it unfair not to get the same weapon. He demands to also get an SVD-63, a semi-automatic designated marksman rifle, the same rifle that the other trainees get. This does not sit well with the personnel in charge. Mykola has no other choice than to embrace what he has. The trainees are told to remain invisible under any circumstances. Part of the test is for the trainer to shoot a few inches from them. If they react, they will fail. Most trainees fail the test. Mykola does not flinch despite the loud noise and the risk involved in this training. Another is for their scope to be covered once the target is sighted. Mykola misses. Even if he knows that he does not have the best weapon, Mykola does not use it as an excuse. When the training focuses on computation, Mykola impresses the lieutenant colonel as he is able to calculate the answer before his fellow trainees can. His being a mathematician comes in handy. Mykola passes the sniper's training. One day, Mykola is told by the lieutenant colonel to pack his things. He is part of the team to be sent to a checkpoint that has been captured by the Russians. The team immediately secures its position. Each sniper has its own target. When they are about to execute their plan, a car heads toward the checkpoint. The lieutenant colonel stops them from shooting. The couple in the car are asked to come out of the car and present their passports. Once cleared, they are allowed to leave, but the guy's passport is kept. The guy wants his passport back, but the Russian who took it refuses to hand it back to him. This results in a commotion. The girl is slapped, and the guy gets shot with a gun. The lieutenant colonel gives them the go signal to shoot. All the Russians are then killed. The lieutenant colonel congratulates the team on their first successful mission. When they return back to their command post, Mykola looks for his friends and fellow trainees. He's told that they are on a separate mission. Later on, he finds out that one of them is brutally killed by a sniper. One day, the team is sent on a mission again. Explosives are set up, and the trigger is concealed with a leaf. When the Russians are getting closer, Mykola is surprised to see his former student with them. Ivan, the student who was always antagonizing him. All the Russians are killed when the explosives are detonated, including Ivan. The lieutenant colonel tells Mykola to not feel that bad as Ivan made his decision. While resting, the lieutenant colonel grabs a photo of his family. Mykola asks if he can take a look at it. The officer tells him that his two daughters don't know the nature of his job. He has an agreement with his wife to keep his job with them. What they know is that he is on a business trip. The lieutenant colonel sees the crucifix he's been carrying. He asks if it's an amulet. Mykola tells him that it symbolizes family to him. Ukrainian forces secure the trenches by the border while the snipers are in position. It's just a matter of time before Russian forces will pass by. Meanwhile, the Russians are preparing to invade the region. Mykola sees the man who killed his wife from his scope. He asks for permission from the lieutenant colonel to shoot. He is told to stand down. Mykola asks for permission again as he has a perfect shot. He is too eager to go for it at this point. The request is turned down, but Mykola can't afford to miss this opportunity. He squeezes the trigger and hits the Russian in the neck. The Russian is killed. The officer is disappointed that his order was ignored. Without their knowledge, a Russian elite sniper named Sari is also in a position to spot their location. The lieutenant colonel spots Sari. He tells Mykola where the sniper's location is, but the Russian is too fast to react. The officer is then killed. Mykola now knows that their location is compromised. He puts the officer's dead body on his back as he braves the onslaught of the Russians. He finds a trench and covers it for safety. He manages to make it out alive, but the officer is not as lucky. He feels a tremendous amount of guilt for the death of the officer who always believed in him and who gave him the chance to serve. His emotions got the better of him when he went for the kill despite being asked not to. The only way to avenge his death is to trace the sniper who killed him. Mykola goes on a mission alone. He spots two snipers and can eliminate them, but not without getting hit in the arm. While resting, Mykola receives a call from the brigadier general and informs him about the Russian sniper, but he can't give the details for now. He wants to fill Mykola in once they meet. Mykola packs his gear and heads toward the location. This is his opportunity to know more about the Russian sniper. The brigadier general informs his men what the Russian sniper is capable of doing. He has already eliminated 5 of their snipers and 3 machine gunners. He is a force to be reckoned with. They have an idea where his favorite position is based on the kills he made. He does not change position. One Ukrainian soldier suggests covering the area with mines, but the officer is opposed to the idea. He lets Mykola explain the reason why they can't just do that as he is from the area. Mykola explains that there's chlorine storage in the location where the sniper is hiding, and using explosives to kill him can cause environmental issues. All of the snipers are then given their assignments. The officer makes it clear that once the secondary targets are eliminated, he wants Mykola to climb up the building and kill the Russian sniper. They are then dismissed. All snipers are in a position to attack. Mykola confirms that he is now in position after crawling toward the target area. He manages to sneak up behind 2 Russians and immediately kills them both. One of the 2 was the same person who went to his place. The other snipers lock their subjects and wait for the go signal. They then manage to wipe out their targets after doing a countdown to shoot at the same exact time. Sari notices that his lookouts are not reporting back anymore. He leaves his post to check what's going on outside. Another Russian sniper also leaves his post to investigate as there seems to be an issue with their communication. They do not know that Mykola is closing in and just waiting for that perfect moment to shoot and kill them both. Sari checks one of the snipers outside. The sniper appears to be still in position. He is surprised to find out that the sniper has been shot dead. He calls for a backup. He is told to wait for 10 minutes for the team to arrive. Sari goes back to his position and fixates his eye back on his scope. He notices a wooden crucifix near him. Before he can react, Mykola then jumps on his back and stabs him in the neck. The other sniper also goes back to his post. When he does, a grenade is detonated, and he is killed as well. The movie ends with the backup that Sari was anticipating is now here. A Russian officer calls Sari on the radio. Mykola answers the call and tells him that they will answer for what they did to Crimea, another territory